Me and Lumi had both suffered a bird tragedy in the last 6 months. Hers happened to be more recent, but I did it twice. So your happened would say in a flash, flash of lightning,
Oh,
in
sad.
a storm.
It is in a horrible storm.
He did the opposite of flying into the eye of the storm.
Yeah, he's a goner. We were trying to make light of the situation. We're like, the one time he got outside, it started storming so hard for hours. We're like, he did not make it. There's no way he made it.
Or he has like a little leaf umbrella, like, and he's like chilling with some, like a frog at a pond.
Idiot didn't know how to fly. Go ahead and say hello real quick.
Oh, this is a podcast. Guys, welcome to the Extra Friends podcast. Sometimes shit is sad. I'm Tex.
Hi, Lumi.
We're your extra friends.
How sad are you?
Put in the comments below. How sad are you? I'm
There's
sad.
no scale.
There's zero scale.
Yeah, we're sad.
Yeah, just sad. From a scale from 1 to sad, what are you?
Mm-hmm.
Don't cheat.
What am I?
Sag. I'm so sorry. I'm honestly not making fun of your bird.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm not making
me.
I'm not making. Giuseppe was a wonderful person. He even signed my marriage certificate. Like he was just so. It was such an honor knowing him.
He spoke 4 languages.
he worked at several Targets, several, and he always donated to charity.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. What a great guy. You've had him for like what, 4 months?
Yeah,
what an amazing man.
Yeah, and probably like 4 months.
He saved people from 2 hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't save himself. What the fuck happened? Can you tell me what happened, please?
Oh yeah, sure. I went to go take a nappy nap because time is irrelevant for me as an unemployed person. So I just sleep when I want to now. Which sometimes like taking naps at 2 a.m. and then getting back up at 5 and then do whatever I want. So I was taking a nap. It was probably like it's midnight probably, and he and I rose from the dead.
Okay.
Because my boyfriend came in and he flopped down on the bed. What's up? No, nothing. And he sat there for a good 10 minutes. Didn't tell me what was going on. I don't think he was going to.
What?
Oh yeah, no. He was just like, yeah. He was looking at his phone and everything, and I'm like,
what?
Yeah, he didn't tell me. Mind you, this is his bird, so I think he's coping differently. And then I woke up kind of in a stir, like even though he was there.
In a tussy.
And I was just like, hey, you okay?
You seem like you're grieving.
And he was like, yeah, he wasn't crying, but for some reason I woke up because I thought he was crying. But when I opened my eyes, he was not crying.
He was
and
weeping.
I mentioned something. He was absolutely just drowning in tears.
Just drowning. I'm never gonna say what I was gonna say.
No, I said something that I can't remember because I was barely awake, and I said something that happened to be along the lines of something tragic. And he was like, "Well, something tragic did happen." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" He was like, "I lost Giuseppe." I'm like, "What do you mean you lost?"
Wow,
Giuseppe?
The theatrics to losing a pet. Appreciate that.
Well, the thing is I wasn't really close with the bird. It was really his bird. The bird didn't like me at all. Like, Giuseppe was in love with him. Like, he's like, back off, whore. That's my man. That's what Giuseppe said to me.
Damn. And then he turned around and, like, got blessed by the Pope. What a beautiful man.
So, I guess what happened...
Ignore that one.
My brain is just like, nah.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know.
So, I guess a storm was a brewing, and I guess the monsoon season here in Arizona is fascinating to everyone. And so he goes
Not
to open
I.
up. He opens. Why?
It's so fucking scary. We'll talk about that in a second. Go ahead. Keep
It
going.
is scary. But he opens up the balcony door, and he wanted to show our little puppy because he's being a cute dad, and he was holding the puppy, and he's like, look, he was like showing him the sky and everything. And our bird likes to sit on the windowsill, but he's not ever shown signs of wanting to flee, like ever.
He
And
done flew, didn't he?
he done flew. He opened up the windowsill and immediately Giuseppe just flew away. And he watched him fly away and he goes, oh. And didn't know what to do because it immediately started storming. Thunderstorms, we're talking lightning, we talking lots of sadness. So he saw him fly away into the stormy night and was like, do I follow a bird at midnight? And he just said he watched him disappear into the darkness.
Question.
Yes.
So when I had a couple birds, I started doing like a lot of like research on like their habits and what they like to do, what they like to eat, whatever. Fuck, hang on. Do you think that Giuseppe flying away caused the storm?
It was a butterfly effect.
It was a butterfly effect because he flapped his little wings.
Butterfly effect.
It was. Do you think he caused the storm? Do you think he like talked to Zeus himself and caused the storm? Maybe he didn't want to be found.
I like to think so.
Maybe he was like a superhero and they like fucking like, you know, slashed his fucking wings in the air and then like rain followed behind him and he's like, yes, my son.
Oh, see, that's another thing. Sorry, I'm not listening to you.
I didn't think so.
That's another thing that we thought we were so good with having a bird because we never clipped his wings. And we gave him his favorite treats.
Is it like declawing a cat? Like, is it inhumane?
No, they grow back.
Okay.
Yeah, no, declawing is like taking the whole claws out.
Right, which is why we don't declaw. But
when you clip the flight feathers, it just they're not aerodynamic anymore, I guess. So
yikes, got it.
But they grow back. But yeah, we never clipped him because I have 2 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Which never didn't change the fact anyway, because that motherfucker would just like crash land and then just sit there when Jinjo was going full speed to go grab him. He's just like, yes, take me now.
So maybe he was like looking for an out.
I actually have a video of him getting in Jinjo's face and just flapping her face all around. I don't know why he did that. He instigated a lot of shit. Maybe he was ready. Maybe he was looking for an out.
He was looking for an out, and then he found a literal out with the window open and was like, this is it. He said, goodbye, my son, and then left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Loom. I'm really not trying to make light of it like it's a funny thing. I mean,
it is funny.
It's funny. It's funny in explanation. Like,
it's funny because
hello, dog. Let's see the storm. Opens it up with the bird out.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Anyway.
Well, we come and go. Like, you have to like realize we come and go with Giuseppe out all the time.
Like, right. Giuseppe's so why would you assume anything else? But like, well, this the consequences of my own actions.
Yeah. That's why he was just like, well, you know, it was a mistake. I did it. I don't know what to do at this point. Like, it's fine, whatever. We did go searching for him in the morning, and we didn't see anything. And then I put his cage out on the balcony. He hasn't, like a dog. He hasn't come back.
Ow.
Maybe we'll catch a different kind of bird.
I'm sorry, Loom.
In the cage that we left out. That's fine.
I had the opposite fucking issue with Phineas, so I kept taking him out. I'm like, you can, like, I'd take him out like all like teary eyed. I'm like, okay, son, you can go now, and he just go, no. He's like, away? I got wives here. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I loved Phineas like to my core. So when you told me that Giuseppe was gone, I was like hurting. I was hurting.
Yeah.
But, like, I forget that he wasn't, like, really your pet, so I get but, I mean, it's still an animal. It's still a life that you're like, "Fuck.
Oh, yeah,
I
no,
was
it's still like
responsible for your little life."
a
And it's a weird way to go.
I don't know.
But I
But I get it.
imagine
Birds are not meant to be kept in cages. I know the one thing they wanna do is be free.
that's how I feel about cats, where it's like, "Yes, you're my cat," but cats are meant to roam, they're meant to have little packs, and they're meant to whatever, so, like, I'm not gonna fucking restrict you. Go on your way, and if you wanna be here to be safe, absolutely, there's always food to come home to. But also, I'm not gonna stop you, you know? Which, I mean, might look fucking hate on me, at me, on Twitter that I don't use. At me if you think that that's an awful thing to
I
do.
won't read it.
Hmm?
It's like, at me on Twitter. I won't read
I
it.
I won't read it. Put in the comments. It like I don't declaw my cats, which I think is arguably worse than letting your cats roam outside. And they do it pretty much supervised. Like they're always in the area. Only once did Bear get out for a long time. But I also same reason he got out during a storm and then he just couldn't make his way back because of God knows what reason. He came back in like 34 days. It took him a while, but he came back. But other than that, all my cats they'll go out for the day. They come in before nighttime, and that's kind of it. But I don't know. Fucking at me if you think that's child abuse.
Mm,
I love both of them are asleep with me over here. Also, Loom, check out my plantitas. Show you my
fun.
plantitas. I got more plantitas. I got this giant monstera right here, and I got this beautiful alocasia. I don't know if you can see it, and then I got this money plant, Chinese money plant.
Wait, did you see my message about the monstera being the tropical fruit that is
Yeah,
corn?
the
That is
fucking
corn.
that is corn. No, it looks like magical corn, right? Yeah, I saw it's a monstera that
The
produces that fruit,
monstera.
which
I
is,
didn't
like,
know that.
wild to me. I didn't realize it was a fruit tree. I think only when it's, like, in that tropical environment. Because right now, technically having it here is, like, a stress on it because it's not humid enough and or bright enough.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't think it'll ever produce fruit. Fucking Ashlyn brought home, like, this little zebra plant, like the succulents, and it had these giant, beautiful like, so you know the succulents that, like, look like little snakes coming out, right? Like a zebra
Uh-huh.
plant, and it's a
Yeah.
it's a cactus, and it has, like, little rings on it. She brought it and it had these 2 sticks that had flowers on the end. She's like, "Look, he's flowering, he's having a good time." I'm like, "I think that's stress." Like, I don't think that's a good thing. I think they do that when they're, like, stressed out, and she's like, "Oh," and we cut him off and he's doing good now. But, plants are fucking weird. They're like
Yeah.
aliens. They shapeshift. It's very strange, and they do different things in different heat and, like, things they're not supposed to do. Like, do you know fucking spider plants? Like, the one Maybell above my sink can flower, also when under
I
stress.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and they put their babies come off at the ends of their leaves. What the fuck? Why?
My babies also do that.
Your babies flew out a window. I'm so sorry, Lou. I'm so sorry.
Um, it's where the heart
Oh, it's
is.
where the heart is.
It's where the birds are.
The bird sings. Oh, do you want to give us a check-in? We're a little late on that, but you want to check in?
Sure.
Give me a
I'm
check-in.
medium energy. Uh, uh, medium comfortability. I got some popsicle toes right now.
Popsicle
Not a
toes.
vibe.
Not a vibe. Really, it isn't. I can't sleep with popsicle toes.
I had to shove them under my boyfriend. Sometimes inside my
Mm.
boyfriend.
Ah! Ah!
It's-
Absolutely not.
I don't know what that means. I take it back.
Welcome home. Welcome home, Q. My nephew's dad is home.
Okay.
So big rip out to Giuseppe and Phineas and Ferb. God bless them. What's your rose for today? Even though you have popsicle toes and your bird's gone, what's your rose? Do you have one? It's okay if you don't have one.
I don't. But I've been so munchy lately.
Dude, I have two. What is
I don't know
that?
what that's about. I don't know. I cannot stop eating.
Neither can I. It's like it's
I'm making
painful.
meals on meals on meals, and I don't have that many foods
I don't
to
have
do
that
that with.
many food. Oh, speaking of which, I have menudo. Do you want some?
No.
Okay. I also made banana bread. You want some?
Oh. No.
Well,
I
fine
don't wanna
then.
leave my house.
That's fair. I mean, I wanted to come over to see Mr. Buster
Oh, yeah, yeah,
at
you
some
can come
point.
over anytime for Buster.
At some point.
I want boba so bad.
We'll make it happen this weekend, BB.
This weekend? What's going on this weekend?
I don't know. I'm done with work on Saturday at 4:30. You want me to go get you for boba? We can poke you too. I don't care.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I do my check-in real fast for the podcast?
Sure.
I'm high energy, high comfortability. I've been kind of in a weird mood, like my goose wants me to kill myself.
Me too.
But I'm working through it. We're in a good vibe.
Mhm.
Memento. So yeah, so, my roast for today is Brian's making like a really yummy beef and rice dish for dinner, and he made me like my own tofu seitan version of it that I can eat because I can't have beef. So I'm excited about that. That and oh, dude, at my work for no
Mhm.
reason at all, I've doubled my expectation for this month, and I almost finished my expectation for next month already.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know where all this came from. I've been sucking ass for like 3 months, and
Heck yeah.
I've been just up that ass. And now
Yeah.
I'm doing fine, which is kind of cool. I wasn't expecting to do this well, but I submitted 5 reg templates today to get my students
Veg
started. It's
templates?
called reg templates, yeah, because you got to register them for school.
Oh, okay.
And I was supposed to get 5 regs per month. I got 10 this month, and I got 5 for next month. And I haven't even started next month. Can you believe that? Isn't that
That's
wild?
crazy.
I wanted to tell people at work, but then it makes people sad. Not like it's a gloating thing, but like oh, look what I did. 'Cause I've never done this much before. My highest ever was 6. So to have 10 and 5 already done for next month is wild. Um, but like I tried to talk to one of my friends at work, and I knew it was just gonna make him sad. So I was like, never mind, sorry. We don't get paid more for doing more. I don't know why I'm doing it this, but
That's really dumb, isn't it commission-based?
not my job. No, we're a Christian university.
God doesn't believe in commission.
God doesn't. He also doesn't believe in tax. So something's
That's
not right
fair.
here. Something's not happening. Um, no, it's been a good job. I like that. I have my only thorn is my brain likes to tell me that I'm worthless, but here we are.
You know what? I do have a rose
What's your rose?
because you brought up food. And I thought
Mm,
about food. So we're making
mm.
like thin pork chop rounds today with stuffing and cinnamon apples.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That would be my third full meal that I've cooked so far today,
I mean, hell yeah.
which is great. I usually don't eat 3 times a day, so I usually eat once a day.
Maybe this unemployment was a good way to just re get onto a schedule for yourself. What do you think?
Maybe. I had a lot of fun just sleeping. Sleeping when I want to, and,
You start your new job next week though,
yeah.
right?
I do. Oh, that was another rose is I got my, what is it called? The tracking number for the equipment that they're sending me to start my job.
Ooh, where are you
So
gonna
I should
put
be
it?
getting I don't know what all of it is,
It's probably
to
gonna
be
be like
honest.
monitors, a laptop, a headset,
Yeah, that's what I think it is too.
it's gonna be like a Lenovo laptop and like a fucking an extra screen, a
So
keyboard, a
what I
mouse.
might do is scooch some stuff over and have,
Huge.
um one of my monitors on the other side of my computer or of my screen,
Mhm.
and then I don't know. I'll figure it out.
It'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to work from home. It's gonna be so much better. And yeah,
Do you wanna play a game today?
absolutely.
I was thinking, what? What? Okay.
What?
What? I was gonna log in to Reddit to get this game started.
Huh?
And I realized that my fucking thing was linked to a person already. And I was like, oh, that's not right. Because I've never been on Reddit before.
Uh-huh.
But I was gonna see if you wanted to do some Am I the Asshole?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What do you think of that? Hydro pants.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's super original.
I think it's so original. I feel like we're the only sister brown girl podcast doing this ever.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Definitely a comedy yeah, no one's ever done this
No
before.
one Anyway.
Yikes. Okay. Let's look for some fucking recent ones, shall we?
Yeah,
Past 24 hours. Let's make it spicy.
Vice.
Let's see. Mm. Let's get some spicy ones in here. I'll cut out whatever the hell is not usable. Um, let's see some juicy ones. Should we do like only relationship stuff?
Is there a way to filter it to only really, or like, how are you looking at that?
I don't know. I found one that's kind of strange.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So, um, oh, this is not the original poster, so I'll post the original poster later. So, my 27 queer housemate, 29 queer, considers my wife 30
Wait,
female. Huh.
what is
I'm reading it right
I'm
now.
so good
I'm
at
reading
this.
it
What is
right
the
now.
headline?
This is the headline. I was reading it and you cut me
What?
off. Listen. Listen. Fuck. Um, my 27 queer housemate, 29 queer, considers my wife, 30F, to be their platonic life mate. Their platonic life mate. Okay, so it's them.
Okay.
So the queer person is married to their wife, right?
Uh-huh.
And their housemate considers their wife to be their platonic life mate. Sounds messy. Okay. Okay. So, okay, there's a note. First of all, I sincerely apologize for the gender fuckery that's in this post. Trust me, I know it's confusing. In all my previous posts and comments, I try to use genders that would make the situation easier to explain, but I really need people to understand the sheer nuance of this. Okay. So, it talks about like their representation and why they're considered queer. Do you want me to read that?
Sure.
Okay, so players, all the players. Me, 27, born female, identify as genderqueer. For the most part, I live as interpreted as a man. I use he/him pronouns. I'm okay with they them. Okay, so maybe we should go by him then for him.
Okay.
So the first Q is him.
Okay.
Listen, all right.
The first Q.
The first
The
Q
first
is
queer.
him. The first queer is him. All right.
Okay.
No
All
confusion
right.
here. Mark, 29, born female, identifies as genderqueer too, but is interpreted as a woman, uses they them pronouns, but is okay with she her. So
Okay.
they're gonna be they them.
Okay.
And then Arwen, wife, born female, identifies female, very queer. Cool. Love it.
Okay.
So my 37 male, housemate, 29 female or non-binary, considers their wife 30 female as their platonic life mate. Okay.
Okay.
To those guessing, we're in San Francisco.
Cool.
That's it. That's the whole thing. That's great. I could have guessed that. It was either San Francisco, LA, or Portland, Oregon. In the best ways. Those are beautiful areas. Okay. So Mark stresses me the fuck out. That's the 29-year-old.
Yeah.
I will save all my various whinings about chores or little annoyances or whatever. Suffice to say, a huge reason I've avoided complete meltdown is because I kept telling myself it's okay. Mark will move out when they get married to Calvin. Calvin is Mark's fiance. Mark proposes to Calvin soon after I moved in. Perfect. Okay, so Mark was there before husband was there. Are you following?
Okay. Yes.
This seemed to be Arwen's wife impression as well. And whenever Arwen and I talk about it, it was, well, when Mark moves out, and then we generally made plans what to do with the room and such. However, to make a very long story, full of small instances short, from things they've said to me to Arwen or the things that I've overheard them say on the phone to each other, Mark believes that 1, Arwen is their platonic life mate. 2, that before I came along, Mark's life plan was to be queer spinsters with Arwen. 3, that I stole Arwen from them. They're married. The poster says they're married. Okay. Are you following?
Right. Yeah.
What? 4, that I am their best friend or one of the only true friends they have. And that 5, they are their chosen family. Okay. This is a really hard first Am I the Asshole that we're doing. Yeah. They've also in the past made noises about their fiance or their fiance's kid moving in. I'm adamant that I never wanted to live with a child. Arwen and I are both child free, and the house is not appropriate for children. Okay. Mark also, when my wife isn't around, has said things like eat the rich, landlords are scum, etc. It's worth noting that they pay literally 50% of the normal cost of rent for our area. Totally forgot to make this clear. But my wife owns the home. Okay.
Okay.
So they're like making like microaggression slants at Arwen and Poster.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I reading this right? I also have it's also great to mention that I have a reading disability. Before we move forward
this could
here.
be about anything.
This could honestly be any story. I just picked things that looked interesting. Sorry.
So I want to know what they did to be the asshole.
Okay. I'm waiting for it too.
We're getting there.
I want Mark to move out. I really thought when they proposed to the fiance that they would make plans to move out and be with him. No such plans have materialized. We're currently
wait. So Mark already has a fiance?
Yeah, and their fiance's kid moved in. So okay, there's 5 people in this house. So Arwen, Poster, right? Married. They're already married.
Yes.
Wife owns the house. Okay. The person they're talking about, Mark. They are engaged to Calvin. Calvin brought in their kid. So there's 5 people in the house.
Got it.
Okay. We're here. We're here and we're queer.
I'm here. I made it.
Yeah, we're back to front. Okay. I want Mark to move out. I really thought when they proposed to their fiance that they would make plans to move out with him. No such plans have materialized. We currently live together harmoniously because I avoid them as much as possible. Okay. Keep in mind, I fully believe that they still think that I'm their second best friend, despite the fact that I treat them the same as I would any housemate or stranger. Okay. I feel like that's more of an issue on your part for not communicating that, but we'll move on. My advice questions are thus. How do I get Mark to move out without triggering them into a self-harm attempt? Oh, yikes. Self-harm is a part of it. Okay. What kind of resources should I be asking my therapist about when I start seeing her again due to COVID? If anyone has experienced something similar, I'd love to hear about it, whether it's ongoing or resolved. I need to know that I'm not alone. I oscillate wildly between wanting Mark out and feeling like a cruel asshole. I get that.
Well, I just want to say,
okay.
This is my immediate response. I feel like Mark is very emotionally manipulative.
I get that vibe. Especially because when they say things like landlords are scum to their landlord, to their technical landlord.
Yeah.
It's like making slights. It's like
also like the fact that your friends are worried that discussing their boundaries is gonna. I have to separate myself and real world experiences, but to say that you're gonna harm yourself because your friends are worried that this is a tendency because they're setting boundaries is inappropriate.
Right. And it like I said before, I do think that Poster OP could have had already had these boundaries in place. It sounds like they believe they're having a relationship with him and his wife when he doesn't believe that relationship is there. And so he is like a landlord type thing. So he's getting the slights of like the landlords are scum, but then he's worried about communicating like, hey, you need to be out because y'all are wild. And he's worried about them doing something to themselves. Yeah, it's way manipulative. It's way a gray area. We'll talk about it once I read the rest of it. It's interesting.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, so the poster, OP, thinks that they're the asshole because they want Mark to be out with their fiance and the kid, but they know their situation. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but they know the situation. They know they have a tendency to self-harm, and they don't want to seem like they're the assholes, scumlord, landlords that they said that they are. I guess. Okay. So, important addition. Mark has a lot of access to Arwen's personal information and to a lesser extent mine. Mark has done work on our computer. Mark has in the past rattled off into Arwen's date of birth and passwords in a joking manner. There have been instances where Mark has definitely laid eyes on official papers with both of our social security numbers. Nothing indicating that they would use this information nefariously, just that they could. And that part of me worries about retaliation. Okay. Yeah, Mark sounds like
The
a
fact that
fucking
you even
manipulative
have this
asshole.
worry
It means
knows
that
that you have the gut feeling that Mark is not the greatest
yikes.
person to be around.
Big yikes. Timeline. Okay. I will be collecting input, advice, resources, whatever, and marinating it on it. Marinating it on it.
Mhm.
That was hard to
That's my
say.
favorite Five Nights at Freddy's character.
That's my favorite thing to do with steak. Nothing actionable. I don't need steak. Nothing actionable can really be done until state of emergencies and COVID stuff blow over. But I intend to create a plan for myself for how to approach my wife about this, a plan for us both on what to actually do, and create a plan for approaching Mark to accomplish this plan. Okay. So on the scale of a few months, probably I'm simultaneously dealing with being unemployed, making sure my wife
Oh
keeps
my
doing an
god.
awesome job at her work. I'm hoping that Mark will move out by the end of the year or by a year from now. Okay.
Okay.
Post is 6 hours old in italics and bold.
Ugh.
Actions to be taken. 1, I'm taking a break from Reddit to calm down before bed. 2, I might check Reddit again in a couple hours if I can't stop thinking about it. 3, I have set aside lots of comments that I feel hit some nails on the head. 4, tomorrow I'll wake up to a clean house. Tomorrow I will read these comments again and prepare them for showing my therapist. And tomorrow I will contact my therapist about virtual sessions. Okay, I like that they have like
Really good set plans, yeah.
love that. Love that for you. Attainable goals. We like smart goals over here, my friend. I've not thanked everyone individually, but know that I read and I thank every single comment and your help. Um, have had a few revelations about myself, namely how naive I've been, which has led me to the situation. That's
Mhm.
fair. Housemates are rough, dude. Also, my situation is once more serious than when I posted, but simultaneously not nearly insurmountable and hardly serious at all in the grand scheme of things. I think I could realistically put up just fine with the things they are with how they are for just another year, but I'll start putting all of this into action now so that hopefully it doesn't last long.
Absolutely.
Okay. Post is 16 hours old. Update. Filling out my wife's current emotional state for possibly broaching the subject. Okay. Approaching might have been a better word. It turns out that she has experienced a flare up of her depression. She has major depressive disorder. Okay. With seasonal pattern. Okay. Fortunately, the season is summer. Okay. She is the sole income earner in her house right now. Man, she must be making good fucking money
Jeez.
to own a house in San Francisco. Are you kidding? Good for you. I decided my number one priority right now is supporting her at home so that she can do good at her work. Love that for you. Great husbanding. Um, Great spousing. I'm making it my duty to ensure that she takes all of her meds every day. Okay. Um,
God, I feel that.
yeah. This week I was already in the middle of putting up blackout curtains in her room, which is supposed to help with summer sad. Yeah. Seasonal depression. Yep. Um, I'll finish that today. New timeline. Gather info, support in this thread. Organize my thoughts from a therapist, see the therapist, broach the subject when the summer has passed, hoping then assuming that the summer wanes. So too will her SAD symptoms, COVID in our area. Also, these things will be fine by then. If I have a full-time job, it'll be feasible for me and my wife to pay the mortgage between just the two of us. I think that's really smart. if I have a part-time job, it'll be possible for if we kept the other tenant, just the chill straight dude. So they have a lot of tenants. So they not only have Calvin and Mark and their kid, they have another tenant on top of that. How big is this house? In San Francisco?
A ton.
Um Ooh, I was reading like a comment and someone said something about autism, that Mark has autism. I can't tell if that's a slight or if that's like a if they said that somewhere. Trying to
That's like
see.
actually given information. If not, it's not something you can actually
No. You can't assume unless it's given.
diagnose or assume. Yeah.
No. Oh, like the very first comment that comes up here is I read your post on am I the asshole? Your partner has taken on Mark in a messy caregiver friend scenario. Their autism will meet there's I don't think she says she has autism. She has seasonal depression. I don't think she has autism. Did he say that she has autism? Am I dumb?
I'm not reading it.
Uh, oh, okay. I would give a rib for a salary it needed to afford. Oh. To those guessing we're in San Francisco, I would give a rib. We're surprisingly definitely not in a gay city. Damn it! I thought they were in San Francisco. Oh, fuck. I should have learned how to read. They're not in San Francisco. Damn.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Where did you get San Francisco?
Well, because this is edit. To those guessing we're in San Francisco, and then I guess they're in San Francisco.
Oh,
I would give a rib for a salary needed to afford a 4-bedroom in San Francisco. We are surprisingly definitely not in a gay city or state. So
okay.
my guess is Minnesota.
So easy change.
Easy. I'll figure it out. Okay. Interesting. Lumi, you've had your fair share of roommates, of fun times. I've had a couple that did some stuff like that to me too. That like not like to me, but like when I lived with my ex-boyfriend of like 7 years, we had his brother move in with us. And that was rough because when I started asking the brother for like, "Hey, you got to pay rent on time. Sucks to suck," he would like refuse to pay it, but also refuse to tell me that he couldn't pay it. And the whole bit about him living with us was like so that you could kind of practice living on your own, but not actually. I mean, like he obviously had to pay rent, obviously. Like but he was paying like not even half of what we were paying. It was just like, hey, you owe me this amount for your 1 bedroom, and that covers all your bills, everything, just for you can kind of stay on your own. And I was like, all I need from you is like, if you know you're not gonna pay, that's fine. Just let me know. Just let me know. I just need to know that way I can plan to afford it. Because my boyfriend at the time was in the idea of like, oh, you know what? Let's always count in my brother's money. And I'm like, no, that's a bad idea. Let's only count in our money and what we make and save. And his will just be extra. And we'll probably put it into like an account, maybe, make a wedding fund or whatever. Cause I wanted to get married really bad because I'm fucking stupid. Um, he's like, no, let's count Victor's money. And I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. And I was right because Victor paid maybe 2 of the 3 months that are we moved in July. He paid 2 of the 5 months that we were there for until I moved out. And the 2 months that he paid was money that my ex gave him to pay me so that I would shut up. I was like, wait, what? And then of course my ex couldn't pay. So it was like I had to afford me and my ex's so that he can then give the idea that Victor was paying. And I was like, this is a nightmare. And then when I wanted out, Victor was so mad that he's like, no, I'm not going to sign because we were all in the lease together. Another mistake of mine. When I wanted out, we all had to sign that I could be out so that they didn't have to break the lease. And he refused to sign it, which was like devastating. Cause I'm like, what the, like, you don't even want me here. Why are you trying to keep me here? But they wanted to keep me there because I was paying the rent. In that situation, I feel like I was pretty forefront with like Victor specifically, like, hey, you need to do this. In this situation, it feels like the wife never set up boundaries of like, haha, I'm not your platonic life mate. And I don't think the husband, the OP, I don't I don't think the husband is setting boundaries either. And I think going to a therapist and bringing all these ideas with him too, I think is really smart. I don't know. This is difficult. It has a lot of layers. What do you think? You're not the asshole, by the
Yes.
way.
Oh no, I was also gonna say too, the fact that you think that that is the case already is the first steps of you not being the asshole
If
because
you're
you're
worried about being the asshole, good chances are that you are not the asshole.
solved every am I the asshole ever.
Yeah.
Um, but no, in that case, I don't know. I'm very much not team Mark.
Not team Mark. No, they sound like kind of a
No.
shitty housemate and friend for to also move their fiance and their kid and then have zero plans. Unless you guys had like a strict like, hey, we're gonna be like a multi-generational household. That was not it doesn't sound like it was a conversation being had. And sure, they pay half the rent, but like if I don't know, I feel like that could be put towards plans to move out. I don't know. And then also knowing what timeline is, right? Because you're like, oh, I think it'll be good for the year or whatever. Okay, but then if you never state that out loud, like, hey, let's give you another year before y'all have to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like at that point, if you're the homeowner, your wife is the homeowner, I would ask her, like, hey, should we put a deadline on our friends, especially with all the things that they've been saying and doing and kind of slighting at and like hinting at that they can do. It's like these are things, one, that are not cool. But two, that, see what her timeline is too. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think?
Like you said, I've had my fair share of housemates, and honestly, I think that the poster is. I mean, obviously, we already said not the asshole, but is doing all the correct steps. Um, I love like the list of things to do. Uh, there are so many people out there just within this year that I've experienced that don't care, that could care less about an individual situation, even regardless of how hard things could be, and they'll just toss you to the side. They'll kick you out, or they'll do other things, and it's hard to realize that that is things that people will do. So the fact that you're even thinking about a way to come across it, of even just like mentioning it to your housemates, way better
Than not saying anything at
than
all.
not saying anything at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I think you're on the right path, and then bring that up into counseling and with your therapist is like the best thing that you could do at this point. And then especially like I think the trickiest part in this instance as of right now would be to getting your spouse on board.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because of like, seasonal depression and all that. It might take some time, and it might feel like you're waiting for the you might feel like you're waiting for a while because you don't know how long it'll last.
Mm-hmm.
But just giving your spouse that time to have their moment before you bring on something like that, it's probably another, like, I guess, important thing to do.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. I think you're right. And I do agree with you, Loom, where it's like you can't really put your trust and faith in people to mind your situation, right? Like anything you want people to mind, you have to say directly. And if they don't respect it, that's when you find new people like you've been doing. Right? Because there's one thing of saying your piece and saying your boundaries and then not respecting it and you making your choice. But if you also never say your boundaries, it's hard to also then hold them accountable for the expectations you didn't set. Right.
Right.
Um, so you were in a situation where you did say your expectations and they still were like, fuck you, we don't really care. I guess mine was the same way where I stated my expectations and it was like, fuck you. I'm more worried about how my brother thinks about me than what you think about me because you're gonna be with me. But anyway, jokes on him. Um, not really, not jokes on him. I hope he's doing well, but also fuck you for paying off your brother to pay his rent in my apartment. I don't know. It's really stupid. Like, at the end of the day, I still didn't get the money, and you were still planning to have the money that we don't have. It was just really dumb. And then both of them bought brand new cars as they left, and I was like, I'm so glad this is not my fucking apartment because what a shit show. What a shit show. Anywho, that was a lot of money to get out of the apartment. To just get in a studio and then whatever. But I mean, it worked out in the end because I was able to buy a house and shit. But that's tough. A lot of nuances. I'm glad that they're seeking therapy and stuff because that's gonna help a lot. I'm biased. Do you want to do one more before we call it quits?
Sure.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, I like them. I think they're interesting.
Kind of fun. Okay.
I'm like scrolling through them to see if there's any like that are recent that don't have a lot of votes. But I mean, did yours say whether it was determined if it was they were an asshole or not an asshole? Because depending on like, I guess up votes, down votes, it'll determine whether they're the asshole or not.
I mean, yes and no. There's some like really high upvoted ones because I want people to see how much of an asshole they are. So there's like a little bit of both. There's a off my chest one as well. I'm new to Reddit, so this is all brand new to us for me.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Ooh, this one's kind of cool. This one was an hour ago. There's already a lot of comments. Ooh, can I say this? Because I feel like it's
go
on
for it.
brand with,
Yep.
you and your stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so this one is, I haven't read into it, but just the headline.
Okay.
Am I the asshole and a bridezilla for saying that I want no children at my wedding and only
Oh,
allowing my
shit.
niece?
Okay.
Which makes me think about like, you know, you're gonna be getting married eventually.
Yeah, but I know 2 people that are gonna have kids under 5. I know 2
Right.
people.
What is your feelings on having children at a wedding?
I can understand and empathize with those who don't because it's a lot of money that you spend in a day, to have one day with your family and friends, and especially if you're like the spiritual component of like your soul binding forever. I get you don't want to have a screaming child in the background. I'm, however, a little hippy dippy. If my family's coming together and there happen to be kids there, they're also my family. So and they're like, oh, I don't want them on the dance floor. I don't want them drinking around, whatever. Well, the people that have the kids, you could have someone take them home or have a babysitter come get them. Like, if you're uncomfortable with having your kid there, that's one thing. But I say if you have kids, like for example, like our cousin Kelly's gonna have a 2-year-old by the time I get married. My friend and my cohort member, I went to her baby shower on Saturday. She's gonna have a 2-year-old when I get married. And assuming that they both come, which I would hope they would, I would love for them to come. I wouldn't want their 2-year-olds to not come. Like, bring your 2-year-olds. And if they cry and they scream, whatever, that's what 2-year-olds do. But I love kids. So like that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me like crying kids does not affect me one way or another. So personally,
what
I'm
about
like,
during
whatever.
the ceremony?
See, again, that doesn't, because kids cry. At the end of the day, I'm not going to remember my cousin's child crying. I'm going to remember getting married to the love of my life. So like, I'm less irked about sounds and noises and smells than most people are. Not even most people. I just think some people are really sensitive to it. I happen to not be that person, but I totally empathize with people being like, no kids, no kids.
Yeah.
And in this situation, am I the asshole? It's one of those things where it's like, it's one thing to bring like a niece or a nephew or a cousin. It's another thing for like your second best friend's cousin's coworker brings her 5 children that doesn't watch any of them. That's another thing. But those are 2 different scenarios. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But see, that can happen very easily. And so what I'm interested in is what, like, what I'm interested in is what everyone else has to say about this bride's policy.
Okay, yeah. I want to hear it.
Because I want to know how people feel on the flip side of it.
Yeah.
So it says, I, 24 female, am getting married next month. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, that's
to
exciting.
my fiance, 27 male.
Okay.
I like kids, but I know that they can cause a real mess sometimes. They can be really loud and annoying, and they won't behave all the time. I know it's not the kids' fault. It's their parents for not properly educating them.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there too.
Okay.
Not just the kids' fault. I'm also a very firm believer that if you know kids are going to be around, we're also a little bit at fault if like I'm gonna have the cake at a reachable level, or I'm gonna have like all of the drinks at the fucking bottomless bar be at arm's reach to a 2-year-old. That's on me. You know what I mean?
That's not even what I was thinking about. What I'm
You
thinking
know?
about is like
Yeah.
kids are not going to weddings every single day. You're not even going to weddings every single day. That's a lot of stimulus for anyone. I wouldn't
For
even blame
anyone.
parents. I wouldn't even blame
No.
parents for kids freaking out at a wedding.
Absolutely not.
That's so much. And it's supposed to be celebratory. It's supposed to be like food and cake and loud music and
Yeah.
laughter. For kids to be a little bit more, haywire because of that. I mean, that seems normal to me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
exactly. Like
necessarily blame that on
I
parents.
wouldn't be mad at a child for like freaking the fuck out when there's nothing but moving candles. And
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like
Motherfuckers got moving
motherfuckers got
candles.
moving candles. Like, yeah, it's like at that point I can't be mad at anybody. It's like you decided to bring your kiddo. I didn't mind having kids. The kid's having a hard time. You just have to go home early. I'm sorry, but also like that's why people have after parties, which I was planning on having an after party at my wedding. So there's a reception and then an after party. And the after party can be all adults,
Yeah.
That could be the one that goes to 4 a.m.
Right.
because all venues close at 10 because white people. So like, I don't know. Again, I'm coming from a very like fippy dippy. Our families are going to be combined spiritually. So I'm like, bring the babies. I love the babies.
Huh.
I'm not going to be responsible for your kids. I will love on them when they're here. I'm not responsible. But yeah, I know I want to hear the rest of this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead.
That's fine. I felt the same way. Okay. It's their parents' fault for not properly educating them.
Not
But I don't want any kids to ruin my wedding. I have a very big family, and I've been to a lot of my cousins and distant relatives' weddings. And at some of them, there were little kids running everywhere. I like to mention that kids is always capitalized or something.
Okay. Actually that helps out a lot.
The kids. That's why both me and my fiance decided to have a no kids under the age of 12 allowed policy.
Under
That's all in
12?
parentheses. Yeah.
Under 12?
No kids under the age of 12 allowed policy.
Whoa, what is that in acronym?
NKUTA 12 AP.
12 AP policy. It's policy twice. Under 12 is considered like when I'm thinking kids, I'm thinking 2 and 3, not 12.
Yeah, you're thinking toddlers.
Yeah.
This is saying
those
like
are people.
Even your nieces right now.
Those are people. Those are not kids, those are people. I don't know. Maybe
at that
I'm
point,
weird.
Then I'm like, if your 8-year-old kid is being a shit, then that's why I'm like, yeah, your kid needs to simmer down.
If your 12-year-old's being a fucking asshole, like
you're 3 years from 15.
You're gonna be driving a car.
I can count.
Ooh, good counting.
You're gonna be driving a car in 4 years. Like they should be okay.
Like 12 that's a little. I find that ridiculous. But also, I don't know any 12-year-olds that are like quote unquote bad.
But here's where so it says
okay, I'm gonna hear
it. So under the age of 12 policy, because allowed policy, because we think that the age of the kids are old enough to behave. All right. The only exception was for my niece, my sister-in-law's child, who is an 8-year-old, very lovely little girl. She's always so sweet and polite. One of my cousins has 3 kids, aged 3, 5, and 8. She called me. Okay, this is moving along really fast. She called me that she has no one to look after her kids, and that she thinks it's normal since their family is to bring them to the wedding. Okay. Since they are family to bring them to the wedding.
Here's the thing that is weird. You can't find someone to watch your kids for like maybe 5 hours a month from now.
I think they're saying other family members because it's a
wedding because they're all gonna be there,
right?
Sure, but then you pay nanny.com for 5 hours.
Yeah, but people don't trust that nowadays.
That's 100% fair. Maybe I'm judging too early. Go ahead, keep moving.
I get that.
Mush.
If it's
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm shaking a lot.
Your popsicle toes.
Yeah. I told her
Yeah.
no, that I don't want any kids under the age of 12 at my wedding. Um, and that she can just hire a babysitter or something. I've seen her kids only a few times, TM, and everything is like capitalized for no reason.
Okay.
Few times is my favorite newspaper. Um, and they seem pretty normal, not very quiet, but also not very annoying. But I have no idea how they'll behave at a wedding. And I said no. So
Wait, I don't hang on. Can I say that I don't like this? When they say they're not very quiet, but they're also not very annoying. Why is your scale from quiet to annoying? That's your shitty expectation at that point. Why do you assume kids are gonna
so we're
be, if they
saying a little
talk, they're annoying?
assholey.
I'm saying I'm getting Bridezilla vibes, but go ahead.
She understood that and said she'll leave the kids at home.
Okay.
But she doesn't have a okay.
Okay.
Until yesterday,
Okay.
when she met my sister-in-law and my niece when we were out shopping, my sister-in-law told me that they were looking for a dress for the wedding, and my cousin was surprised and asked, dresses plural? And my sister said, yeah, for me and my daughter.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you again.
Uh-huh.
That's shitty of you to have that rule only for one set of cousins and the rest of your family,
Mm-hmm.
and then also not disclose it to the rest of your family. Like, hey, I have a no kids under 12 rule, but I'm gonna have her come because she's the flower girl. That's one thing.
It didn't even. She's not
But
even the
you
flower
did,
girl.
but see, you also didn't disclose that. You didn't say, hey, by
Right.
the way, I am gonna have my niece because I know she's well behaved. And then there can be a discussion about behavior that doesn't come from a, hey, I can't trust your kids
Right.
or your parenting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, go
But
ahead.
see, so this is her
Oh my
cousin.
God.
So she told her own cousin no,
Yeah, and
but
then told her
her
sister-in-law, not
her
even
sister-in-law,
blood.
yes.
Not even blood. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Not that blood matters, but whatever.
And my sister-in-law
In low.
low said yeah for me and my daughter. After that, my cousin called me furious, saying that it's not fair that my sister-in-law's child is allowed at the wedding
It's not.
and hers aren't.
It's not.
I tried to tell her that I'm very close to my niece. I basically see her all the time, and I barely saw her kids. And I barely saw her kids a few times. And I also told her that she's very polite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you confused?
No, I was just like, whose fault is that you don't see your cousin's kids?
Right.
You can't say the
And I
phone works
also,
two ways if like you're the adult.
right.
You know?
Yeah, your kids need to make an effort to come see me.
Your kids would be invited to my wedding if they weren't such little shits, even though I don't really know them. And are they quiet or are they annoying? What is that? Okay, anyway. Go ahead.
Also, I also told her that she's very polite and I know that she'll behave.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, she told me other relatives and I'm
Other.
sorry. Of course, she told my other relatives and the ones who have little kids that it's not fair and I'm only allowing one child at my wedding. And if I have a no child policy, it should apply to everyone. I told them that it's my wedding and I can do whatever I want, and they called me a bridezilla. So am I the asshole or the bridezilla? Sorry for grammar errors. English is not for. Okay. English is not first language.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, you're the asshole. If
Yeah.
you didn't want to be the asshole, two things you could have done to avoid that. An asshole, I'm saying very lovingly, because obviously nobody's truly an asshole unless they're doing things to hurt people, right? So I'm gonna give a disclaimer right there. But if you are gonna try to avoid being said asshole, one, if you're gonna have a no child policy but allow one kid, that needs to be disclosed to everyone. And explain why. I'm really close to my niece. I see her all the time. You know, when I thought about the policy, I didn't think about them for these reasons. And I know that's a hard conversation to have, but this is a harder conversation to come back from.
Mm-hmm.
So my philosophy is always hit the shit on the head first and then deal with the aftermath. Not wait for it to blow up in your face, not tell anybody but the family you're allowing the child to come to. And then have them find out on their own accord. That's what really hurts. It's not even about their kids not coming, because you could have been like, yeah, my niece is coming, but for your kids, I don't know how they're gonna be. You know, do you know how they're gonna be? Let's go ahead and get a babysitter anyway. Don't you want the time off from your kiddos? You know, you could have explained it differently. Whereas your cousin found out through her means of her own. That's fucked up. That's what makes you a bridezilla. And I know that, like, yes, it's your day and you should have it how you want it. I get it. It's my day. I want to have it how I want it too. But at the end of the day, and I see marriage very spiritual, like some people, most people do, but I see it in the spiritual way of like, this is your family coming together in honor of your love. This is your family being binded forever. Whether you guys get divorced or not, your family is always going to be intertwined with them spiritually, emotionally, physically, are always going to be binded to each other. You don't want to start that off on the wrong foot because you wanted to have a day to be special, and I get having the day because you're spending all that money doing it, and I get it. You want it to be perfect because you already put the money into it. But that's the thing, is like, don't have a policy then. Have a discussion with each family that has kids and see what's going to be the best fit. Because who knows? What if that 8-year-old girl, her cousin's kids, what if they were excited to go to the wedding? That means they're going to be on their best behavior because they're excited to go. You never know. It just could have been avoided. So, full bridezilla, no. Asshole, yes. Sorry.
So it's pretty divided in the comments too. Like, a lot of people were saying the same thing that you said, Tex. Just to make up your mind, and if you wanted to have an individual that you liked, you should have made her the flower girl. That way she's part of the wedding party and not just a one child that you chose because you like that one. Like, that's weird. Although there were other people that said not the asshole because it's your wedding, you can do whatever. I just feel like that as an answer is like, it's my wedding, I can do whatever I want.
I don't know. Weird. I feel like it's because we're getting farther and farther away from what marriage truly is. It's not a show of wealth. It's not a display of anything else but your family's coming together. And like, it's okay if you don't see it like that, but then I don't know. It's hard to think of marriage outside of the context of spirituality. Maybe I'm a little biased in that regard because I'm like, it's not like, yes, it's about you, but we've made it into such a weird cultural fest where it's like, it is about you. It's about the girl. It's buy dresses of thousands of dollars. But it's like, it's literally 4 hours, 5 hours of your life max that you're not even going to fucking remember. I don't know. I'm a little jaded though. In planning my own wedding, I get more and more jaded with, I'm like, why the fuck would I spend $16,000 for 5 hours?
Hold on, I'm gonna pause.
Pause it.
The police are outside.
Oh shit! Did they find Giuseppe?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Giuseppe's in cuffs, man. We're all in this together, as we know who we are. We're all stars, and your dream come true.
All right, so sad news. It's not Giuseppe.
Or great news. It's not Giuseppe. You okay?
It's not for me. It's for my neighbors.
Oh, I thought you got served something. Like Giuseppe put a restraining order on you.
Jesus, fuck. Just add that to the pile of things I have to worry about. No, someone called on my neighbors because they were worried about his well-being with the amount of animals he has, I guess.
Oh. So you want to go spy? Nasty.
I can hear them. The walls are very thin.
The walls are thin, and so is my integrity. I'm kidding. Any other comments on your
Bridezilla?
Yeah, what do you think, Lumi? Because you're eventually gonna get married too. What are your thoughts on kids? I think when I was your age, I was very adamant, like, no kids, whatever. But I was also like a hateful bitch. So what are your thoughts? Like,
I'm not thinking about it very much at all.
Okay.
Like, honestly, I don't think I'd have a problem with kids.
I think they're fun. They're just little people that want to have fucking fun.
Yeah, they want to have fun, and like, that's what my wedding's about too. Is like, if I want to have fun at the reception, like, okay, honestly, it's up to the parents that I'm inviting to make the best judgment on if they think their kid should be at the ceremony or not.
Right.
If they're like, hey, I'll just show up for the reception. That's fine. Why do I need to be like, I guess, composed for a reception? That's what it's for. It's a party. So, I don't mind if there's babies at a party. My only thing would just be like, watch your kids and make sure, like, it's your responsibility to take care of them and watch them.
Yeah.
But other than that, them being there is not going to affect me. I don't care. I don't have problems with kids.
I don't either. I've never gotten the issue with like, and I've been to weddings before. I'm just like, I don't get the issue of kids. They're just fucking having a good time.
Right.
And like sometimes they cry. I remember when I was a kid, I went to my aunt Deanna and Uncle Trey's wedding. Like I remember like asking my mom during the reception, like, why is everyone crying? Like I remember like, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't mind kids having a good time. I've had a lot of not adult parties, but like birthday parties. Like in Hispanic households, when you have birthday parties, everyone and their mother comes, you know? So when I've had parties like Brian's 30th birthday party, for example, all of our little cousins came and they're like 10, 11, 12, you know, little. And they're running around having a good time. I thought it was more fun. There's just more things to do, the more things to look at, more things to talk to, like more people to talk to. When they opened up gifts, they got excited for no reason. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like having kids around, but that might be why I'm a fucking school counselor. That I enjoy this shit. I don't know. I don't think it makes you a bad person to not want it, but I think if you're gonna single out people, you're like, oh yeah, you're worthy of coming to my wedding.
It's also just weird to be like, no kids allowed except for the ones that I like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who are you to be the judge of the worthiness of the children that come? You know what I mean? Pick one. If you're gonna make a stupid rule, then follow it. And the whole, oh, it's my day, it's whatever. I'm like, it's your day, but you're asking a lot of people who like you to coordinate for your day. So
yeah,
that's another thing too. It's like, yes, it's your day as the bride, 100%. But all of these people are taking time out of their days, weeks, months, whatever, flights across the fucking country to come see you at your wedding. It's your day, yes, but it's also very much everyone else's day. Are they having a good time? Is it eventful for them? Are they, are they understanding of the significance of this? That's how I'm planning my wedding anyway, because all my fucking family is across the country from us. So it's like, of course it's gonna be about them, partially, because like they're flying out here to see me.
Right.
I don't know. I'm jaded. I'm more jaded the more planning I do. Like even like the little bit of like we went venue hunting. Me and Lumi went venue hunting a few weeks ago, and even then I'm just like, why the fuck would I pay this fucking money? I'm half considering just doing it in the back of my fucking house. Put all the money into my house and then fucking throwing it here. Cause I'm like, what the fuck am I actually paying for at that point? To show that I have money? I don't know. I just think it's just weird. It's weird and icky to me. Feels weird.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe we can do more Am I the Assholes, like
those.
every other podcast in the whole universe does. I think it's cool though, because you get to learn more about the people on the podcast because we're sharing our opinions and our thoughts, and you get to fucking follow along.
Right.
Any last words, Mr. Magic Man?
There's a good one.
That's a good one. Do you want to check out for me, please?
Yes, I check out now. Use cash or card.
I like that that's a sound bit in TikTok right now. Use PIN pad to complete transaction. Why?
Yeah,
why is
I don't know.
And it's like people crying. I think it's just so funny. Gen Z is gonna save us, dude. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, of course. That's a conversation for another time. But
yes,
the fucking underdog story of Gen Z being the stupid kids that ate Tide Pods that everyone hated and thought weren't funny.
Those were millennials.
Becoming the activists that we have today is crazy. Maybe bullying does bring success. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a funny joke. Hi everybody. High energy.
We should do the Am I the Asshole with our friends, because I think Loche will have a lot of really funny input.
For sure.
Let us know if you want to see more Am I the Assholes, please.
Yeah. Or other games.
I know, I was like, you want to play a game? And I fucking pull up Am I the Assholes? Like, not a game. Anyway, interesting. Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna check out same high comfortability, high energy. This was a fun episode. Catch y'all on the fucking flip side. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Thanks for coming to the Extra Friends podcast. We love to see you here. We post every Sunday, indiscriminately. We do not miss ever. Check us out next time. Say bye.